All right, let's dive into rants and reflections. And these are deeply, deeply personal rants and reflections that I have on business as a whole, life in general. And feel free to scroll if this isn't for you. But I want to start with the letter A. A for advice. And there's a lot of wisdom out there that you shouldn't take advice from people whose life you wouldn't want to live, or you shouldn't take advice from people who haven't done it before and things like that. And I kind of have some thoughts. One is, I'm an attorney. I give legal advice to a lot of people who have never been to law school, but I am licensed and I have a duty, and there are certain ethics rules and things like that. I could tell you in the small business world, and I did this myself and made a lot of mistakes, and my husband did too when we started a company in 2011, that we took advice from people who had ulterior motives, and those ulterior motives didn't actually align with what we needed for advice. It was aligned to make sales. So we ended up spending a lot of unnecessary money on things that we thought that we needed. And it's very tricky out there trying to figure out, what advice do I need, do I not need? So let's talk a little bit about mentors versus marketers, right? People who will sell you something, but maybe they're not here to mentor your specific business, your specific, business model and things like that. Maybe they are here to offer you some support around things that you need to know to run a business successfully, but they're not actually meant to walk with you to run your business successfully. I'm going to give you an example, two of them actually. I had a client that I worked with about 2 years after they had opened. And when they first started, somebody had called. It was a marketing firm. And they said, we can definitely help you get more traffic to your business. They were so excited. And it actually ended up being $225 a month to update their Google listing, their free Google listing that they could have potentially updated every month in about 15 minutes or so. But they believed that this would help them get more traffic, and this company really didn't do anything. For $225 a month in a 12-month contract, of course, there's no refunds and you can't cancel. So there's one. Another one, actually this was a food service business in another state where somebody had an excellent food service idea, an amazing product that they had developed. And the economic development people in this particular town where this person lived said, wow, this is really, really good. I'll bet you could sell this at Walmart. Now, no shade to the economic development people, but most of the time their job is to rent out buildings, to attract businesses to an area, increase tax revenues, those kinds of things. This guy had obviously never run a small business before. This guy had never started a food products-based business before. And no shade, but she invested in things like 3,000 containers because she could just walk in and get a Walmart contract. She had absolutely no idea. His other piece of advice to her inside her commercial kitchen was, you should get internet here too so people can buy from you. Except for the fact that she didn't have a retail license. It was only a wholesale license. And she was doing about $75 a week in wholesale. And she had laid out a ton of capital and got into a ton of things based on this well-meaning person's advice. Because she didn't vet the advice. She didn't know how. And that's part of the thing. So, all right, that's my rant. My reflection. I've made these mistakes too. Go ahead and stitch this or leave a comment or let me know what rants and reflections you have about advice for your business. Take care.